Morning to meteorologist Travis Klineski here on this Tuesday morning. Hope you enjoyed yesterday. It was an extremely mild day, if not even a warm one, for those out west where we were shedding record highs across the western half of Nebraska. Not quite that warm today. We had a cool front pass through. It's kind of stalled out to our south and southwest here, and so that's bringing more of a northerly wind, very light wind this morning. Winds are not going to be a big deal today. They'll turn more easterly with time, though, so the direction of that wind not as favorable for warming up. That said, we're still going to be extremely mild for this time of the year, just not as warm as yesterday. Partly to mostly sunny skies, a lot of upper level clouds. Some increasing clouds tonight. The biggest issue is the low cloud cover that will build in later tonight over eastern Nebraska, maybe about as far west as the Tri-Cities area. So low clouds right in here. And so it'll be a cloudy morning, maybe a little drizzle, maybe some areas of fog to start off our Wednesday morning. And out west, this isn't fog. This is mostly your mid and upper level clouds, which should thin out a little bit as the day goes on. I'm going to take you slowly through tomorrow. There's the noon hour. Notice eastern Nebraska is still socked under cloud cover. Western area, some sunshine. So there's going to be a big difference. We have a chance to break records again out west. Eastern Nebraska, going to stay a little cooler because of those clouds. We may get some sun late in the day, but there may be a few spots that may not see much sunshine tomorrow. Most of us should eventually get some sunshine, a lot of sunshine out west, though. Then as we get into it, look at this Christmas Eve night into Christmas morning, the low clouds build back in. But this time they're covering a larger part of our area. Low clouds, maybe some drizzle and fog again. Now out west, not bad, but a lot of low clouds and fog. And this could actually hold really tough on Christmas Day, which means, unfortunately, a lot of us are going to be looking at a much cooler than expected Christmas Day right in here. These are all your low clouds and maybe some fog during the day. It's going to be kind of a gray Christmas. It's going to keep things cooler. Out west, now let me back this up here. Starts off pretty sunny. We'll gradually see skies become partly to mostly cloudy as the day wears on here. But out west, it should be a much nicer Christmas day than across parts of central and especially eastern Nebraska. So let's take a look at those highs for the next several days here. Today's high is mostly in the 50s, some 60s over western Nebraska, a few 40s in the northeast corner of the state. And tonight, actually, before we get to tonight, let's look at the area here, and you can see the different temperatures around there. Maybe 47 in Spencer, 50 in Atkinson, but most places will be up into the mid and upper 50s later on today. Southwest areas might even sneak in some low 60s in some areas, otherwise mid and upper 50s elsewhere, including 55 in Loop City. Southeast areas mid to upper 50s, perhaps closer to 60 in northern Kansas, and then northeast Nebraska, low to mid 50s, and then some 40s out there as well in the far northern and northeast part of the state. Now, as we move on from today, we'll move into tonight, where it'll be another mild night in the 30s, a few spots slipping back into the 20s, similar to what we're seeing this morning. Tomorrow's highs, well, look at western Nebraska. We're back into record high territory. We should be breaking or coming close to breaking records in most locations out west that keep track of records. Eastern Nebraska, maybe not so much. Those low clouds much of the day keeping things a little bit cooler. It's going to be in the 50s for highs. There may be some later day sunshine. Christmas Eve night into Christmas morning, not bad. 20s and 30s for lows again for most of us. Christmas Day. Out west of Highway 83, 60s are returning again with some sunshine. Those low clouds and fog. Now, it's not a cold air mass, but it will stay cool because of the clouds. 40s and 50s, still above average, but unfortunately staying kind of gloomy and cloudy out there. The cold stuff staying to our north. No brutal cold air coming until we head through the weekend here. Looking at Christmas night into the day after Christmas, that morning, Friday morning, 30s for lows. It's a mild morning. Friday, look at this. We could be back into record high territory on Friday here, back up into the 50s and 60s. Our records aren't quite as high on Friday, so we have a chance to tie or break records. Let's take a look at that extended forecast here. We'll, again, see some pretty mild weather, but again, not as nice as previously expected, especially for Christmas Day itself. The day after Christmas looking pretty good. Records, well, records are going to be close. Kearney's the record 70, so it's going to be tough to get there. We'll see. Grand Island and Hastings will have a chance to maybe tie or break a record. We'll see about that. Saturday's not too bad, but then here comes a cold front. Much colder on Sunday with some wind. Still pretty chilly on Monday. It does get a little bit warmer Tuesday, Wednesday as we wrap up 2025. Maybe a little bit of a shot of colder air by New Year's Day, though. It looks like a glancing shot of that colder air there. As for North Platte, chance of breaking records on Wednesday, pretty good chance of doing it there, and then maybe a tired or broken record on Friday. Otherwise, Christmas Day is not bad. Today is not bad at all. No complaints there. Saturday's still looking good. There's that colder air on Sunday. Monday, a little bit better, and it looks like we'll warm up as we get towards next Tuesday and Wednesday to wrap up 2025, and then again a little glancing shot of cooler air on New Year's Day. But it looks like as we move into 2026, we're still probably looking at above average temperatures during that time frame here, and maybe some moisture down the road. I'm not seeing too much early on, but maybe some down the road. I still think the better chances are going to remain off to our west here, as there's not a ton of moisture in our forecast over the next 10 days anyway here. There's the cold front right there. Barely any moisture expected with that. Next week, most of the moisture misses us. So really through New Year's Day and maybe even the following day, not much for moisture expected. The GFS model shows that, and here's the cold front right there. Not much moisture over the next 7 to 10 days. Really, the only thing chances of moisture may be the drizzly conditions as we look ahead to some areas on Wednesday morning and again Thursday morning. Temperature-wise, we've got a couple of cold fronts to talk about. Now, again, we're a little cooler today. We warm up tomorrow. Christmas Day is mild, but again, with the clouds in eastern Nebraska, not as mild. And then Friday and Saturday still pretty mild, but here comes that shot of colder air Sunday. Sticking around for us on Monday, but then warming up Tuesday. And then there's that glancing shot of chillier air on Thursday. That's New Year's Day. The European model is more aggressive with the cold air. And actually, it doesn't last long. It looks like we may actually warm up beyond New Year's Day, though. So that milder air trying to build back in from the west here beyond New Year's Day. The GFS isn't as aggressive with that cold next week. So let's check out the next several days are mild. Even Christmas Day, but the only thing keeping us down Christmas Day is the clouds. Here comes that cold front Saturday night into Sunday. So colder air there, but we start to warm up by Tuesday and Wednesday. And then New Year's Day, there's the shot of cooler air. It's only a glancing shot from the GFS, though it's not as aggressive as the European model was with the colder air. And then maybe that warmer air begins to build back in following New Year's Day. So a couple of shots of colder air to look forward to, one on Sunday and then again, and kind of lingering into Monday and then again towards New Year's Day. That will keep an eye on down the road. Otherwise, no major active weather ahead of us. I want to thank you all for watching on this Tuesday morning. I will be back with you on Christmas Eve Wednesday with all the latest here. I'll be off for Christmas Day and then be back with you again on the day after Christmas on Friday to bring your final forecast of the week. But until tomorrow, hope you have a wonderful Tuesday. Enjoy the nice weather for today. Talk to you later. Bye.